Driving direct bookings is one of the best ways for hotels to increase their bottom line. Now, to be clear, when I say direct bookings, I'm referring to traveler bookings made directly on a hotel's website or app, as opposed to bookings made through third party OTAs like Booking.com or Expedia. Direct bookings are inherently more lucrative for hoteliers as they are able to eliminate the commissions paid to the OTAs like Expedia and Booking.com. Now, as I was thinking about direct bookings while eating my breakfast this morning, which is usually how I spend my breakfast time, it got me wondering, in terms of converting visits on a hotel's website into actual bookings, how do certain markets compare? Like, are there certain market characteristics or attributes that might result in higher or lower direct booking percentages? So, for this analysis, I picked two US markets. I wanted to pick a major metropolis, so I picked New York City, and another major city, but not on the level of New York, so I picked Denver. So let's look at some statistics first, and then we'll go back up and talk it all through. So you're looking at some Lighthouse direct booking conversion data for calendar year 2025 for New York City in orange and Denver in that lovely bluish green color, okay? I believe they call that teal. Now, right here, we have the total conversion percentages. What this refers to is of all the unique visitors who landed on a hotel's website, what percentage ended up booking right on the website itself. And we could see that Denver exceeds New York City quite handily, with Denver converting at 4.1% and New York at a 2.9% total conversion. Denver's conversion of 4.1 direct bookings for every 100 visitors exceeds that of New York by over 40%. Now, let's look at a few more metrics. Our next metric is percentage of visitors to booking engine. To explain this one, this means of all the unique users who landed on a hotel's website, what percentage ended up making a search on the hotel's booking engine on their site? Not necessarily that they booked, but made a simple search on the booking engine. And here we see New York exceeding Denver quite handily, 43% to 36%. So that's interesting. The data kind of flips. Denver exceeds New York in total conversion, but more people on New York hotel websites are actually going through the effort of doing a search. The last stat is the percentage of booking engine searches to booking. What does this represent? Of those unique users who made a search on the hotel's booking engine, what percentage ended up directly booking on the hotel's website? And here is where we see Denver jumping back on top with 11.5%, exceeding New York's 7.2% quite handily. So this is absolutely fascinating. We see a greater percentage of visitors making searches on New York hotel websites, but ultimately more conversions for the Denver hotels. So here's what I think is happening, and I think there are a few factors that could be driving this. I think Denver typically attracts more purpose-driven travelers, like someone going to an event or leisure visitors en route to a ski trip. And I think many people like this already have a good idea of what they want when visiting the website. Conversely, I think New York City attracts a large volume of shoppers. So think international travelers, first-time visitors, people just wondering what it might cost if they finally took that dream vacation to New York City. And I think this leads to more site visits without necessarily having any sort of immediate intention to book. I also think that New York City has extreme hotel density, hundreds of hotels in every segment across all sorts of micro neighborhoods. And I think this leads to an environment where visitors often bounce between hotel websites and OTAs to compare offers, leading to higher abandonment on direct websites. Basically, a situation where too many choices leads to hesitation, which ultimately lowers the direct booking conversion. And I also think there's something to be said about New York City visitors perhaps being more likely to price shop. Hotel prices can be extremely high in New York City, plus high taxes and fees, and I think that probably leads to price shopping and jumping around from site to site, reducing the conversion percentage. So, All this is to say that direct bookings aren't easy to come by. We obviously discussed reasons why Denver may be converting better than New York City, but both markets are in the low single digits in terms of conversion percentage. So, as a hotelier, think about this. The value of direct bookings cannot be overstated. Think about ways to maximize this percentage. There are, of course, tools to help with this, like Lighthouse's direct channel personalization. But regardless of whether you invest in technology to support this or try to do it on your own, remember that driving the direct channel is one of the keys to bottom line maximization. Thank you so much for joining us. Bit of a longer one today, but when the data is this juicy, we can't help ourselves. Thank you again. My name is Blake Reiter, and we'll see you next time on Lighthouse Quick Takes.